Hey, what's up, guys? Just thought I'd give you a couple of quick thoughts. I'm about to grab something to eat and some drinks here after the fights. I don't have my microphone or anything like that, so I'm just kind of yapping into my phone. I'll keep it real quick, but of course, watch the Neutral Corner Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and I'll go into detail with everything. But look, obviously I was ringside for the fight. Cody says Spence got lucky. I completely disagree. There was a split decision win for Errol Spence over Shawn Porter. I think two judges had a 116-111 for Spence, which I thought was the correct score. And then Judge Larry Hazard Jr., I believe, had it, I think 115-112 maybe for Shawn Porter, which means he had it 8 rounds to 4 for Shawn Porter. And that's just not the fight that took place. Also, obviously I don't know what was on TV, but I heard some of the folks telling me ringside and press row that the Fox broadcast, the announcers had it really, really close. Like they were talking about it being almost an even fight, which is ridiculous. That's not what we saw. Ozier is asking, wasn't Spence dirty? Yes, he did fight a little dirty in there, but so did Shawn. Jack Reese, I thought, missed several low blows from, guys, Tiff's in there if you guys want it. She's got a table. I thought that Jack Reese missed several low blows from Errol Spence, but Shawn was reaching in there and mauling and grappling and getting a little nasty himself, but Spence kind of did what he had to do, and I think Jack Reese decided that he was going to let them fight, and I kind of like that decision. He let them fight, didn't interfere too much, and that was the right choice, I think. However, Jack Reese could have warned Errol Spence for the low blows. I saw at least 5 or 6 pretty low blows that I thought Porter's trunks were kind of high, and I think Jack Reese told him, hey, your trunks are kind of high, so I'm gonna, right here is good, but some of those were going a little bit low, and I thought that Jack could have did a better job catching those. Anyway, okay, back to the scorecards. Guys, I thought 116-111, which 2 of the judges had it for Spence, was the correct score. 8 rounds to 4 for Spence. Now, some of you guys, especially those of you who just watched on TV on Fox PPV, were apparently, and again, I don't know this for sure, but this is what I was told. Apparently, they scored it very, very close. They had to fight very, very close, the commentators, which I'm not crazy happy or crazy. I don't think the PVC on Fox crew is the best, okay? I like some of the guys on that crew, but not all of them. Shane asked 8 rounds to 4. Yes, you can go maybe 7 rounds to 5. Marcos Viegas had it close on his card. That surprises me because Marcos usually does a pretty good job. But look, let me give you my reasoning, okay? Shawn Porter does a lot of burst, energetic kind of stuff. He hops around like a bunny. He dives around. His footwork is all over the place. But for all that energy, all that movement, all that footwork, he doesn't punch a whole lot. And when he does, he dives in, he lunges in, and he smothers his work. He smothers his damn work. So a lot of the stuff on the inside was picked off, blocked, and smothered by Spence. The better work throughout the fight, the person who is landing more consistently the shots that mattered, including the shot that put, I think it was a counter left hook that dropped Porter in the 11th round, those were landed by Spence, right? So that knockdown in the 11th round was set up by Spence doing the more consistent work with his jab, filling the gaps. So in between Porter's little burst where he dive in with his head down, lunging shots and all this kind of stuff, it looks cool. The fans ate that shit up, especially the fans here that were here for Shawn Porter, but it wasn't very effective. Now that's not to say Porter didn't land his fair share of hard shots. He did. He absolutely made it competitive, and he clearly won, I would say, 3 or 4 rounds in this fight. I could go as much as 5 rounds, but there is no way in hell that this fight was a draw or Porter won. Spence was clearly the winner, and I was very happy and agreed with the 116-111 scorecards for Spence. All that being said, I couldn't help but think as I watched the fight, Terence Crawford is somewhere in Omaha watching this, kind of laughing to himself, because I'm sorry, based on what I saw tonight, the more fundamentally sound, fluid, slick, I won't even use the word slick, just fundamentally sound boxer is in the welterweight division right now is Terence Crawford. He's one of the finest technicians in the game. It's between him or Vasily Lomachenko or maybe Alexander Usyk as far as who's the #1 pound-for-pound guy. And I think Terence Crawford beats either of the guys we saw in the ring tonight. That's just what I see. And by the way, that was being talked about and discussed with several of my peers on Press Row, that we agreed on that. Some people on Press Row, I think, were fooled, like some of the fans were and the commentary crew for Fox and that one judge, Larry Hazard, by Porter's energetic movements and hopping around and being all, I can't think of the right word. He uses a lot of energy. Spence was very smooth. Everything he did was calculated. He took his time. And I thought that in between those bursts from Porter, Spence, as I say, filled the gaps. And he consistently won rounds. Yeah, Frankie talking about Larry Hazard's scorecard. That was just a terrible scorecard. I don't know what the hell he was seeing. But look, it's a shame if the Fox broadcast, including Marcos Villegas, who I like and who normally does a good job, had it so close, because that influences people. And a lot of you guys on Twitter, I think, were influenced by the commentary. Go back and watch the fight again. Obviously, it's going to be on YouTube pretty soon. Go back and watch on YouTube. Go back and watch some streams of it. And I think you'll agree with me when you watch it again. Watch who's doing the more consistent work. That is Errol Spence. So he unifies titles. Okay, he's got 2 of the titles right now, but he's not. There really is no man, quote unquote, in the welterweight division. It's kind of like the heavyweight division right now. You got one guy who's got a couple titles. You got 2 other guys that have 1 title. I got to mention this real quick, too. Who is it? Danny Garcia jumped up in the ring after the fight. It's going to be Danny Garcia and Errol Spence next. That's what you're going to see next. And expect a similar kind of outcome. Spence is going to do just enough to win a 116, 112, maybe 117, 111 kind of score over Danny Garcia. Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Mikey Garcia. That's what you're going to get early next year. And then later next year, it's going to be Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. So next year, that is PBC's plan. I was told by somebody close to the situation that's probably the way it's going to go. And if you think about it, it just makes sense. That's the plan they're going to go forward with. Where does that leave Terence Crawford? I couldn't tell you. What Grandpa Bob at Top Rank do with him, couldn't tell you. But the absolute earliest that we're going to get real, true unification and clarity at the very top of the welterweight division is 2021. I hate to say that, but that's the reality. I saw one of you guys, sorry I didn't see your name, but you said that Manny Pacquiao has a good chance of upsetting Errol Spence. I agree. I think Manny Pacquiao is going to beat Mikey Garcia, and then I think he has a very good chance of beating Errol Spence based on what I saw tonight. However, I favor Spence because of his youth and his power. By the way, Errol Spence's power is overrated by some people. He's not a one-hitter-quitter kind of guy. He's just not. And there's a lot of fighters out there whose power is overrated. Errol Spence is not the only guy. Power is a little overrated, but he is a good, solid power puncher at welterweight, above average power. And against Manny Pacquiao, he could absolutely hurt the old man. Then again, the old man, he could crack too. And who knows what's going to be happening with Vada. There was no Vada for this fight. Both guys took some big shots. Spence didn't go down. Porter did. Who knows, guys? Who knows what's going on with any of that stuff? But I think that, clearly that's the plan. So 2020, whether you love it, hate it, whatever, that's going to be the plan at PBC at welterweight. And then we'll find out what happens at heavyweight. You guys already know this if you watched, but Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, they were there. That's on for November 23rd, I think. And that's going to be on Fox pay-per-view as well, which is where it belongs. It doesn't belong on Showtime. And I think Deontay Wilder is going to win that fight and win it big. I think he learned a lot from the 12 rounds that he spent with Tyson Fury, and he's going to apply that knowledge, those lessons learned against Luis Ortiz, and stop him before the 5th or 6th round. I really see that happening, unless he wants to play it safe and just box. And then in that case, he may either stop him late. It could even go to the cards if he just backs up and boxes smart, because he wants to secure that rematch with Tyson Fury. All right, guys, so I'm going to go grab a bite to eat and a drink and get some work done. Remember, TNC, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll still be here on the West Coast, so it'll be 4 o'clock Pacific time. Same time, same place. You guys know it. Thank you for supporting, and I'll see you at the fights.